So here we are inside the cockpit, or should I say outside the cockpit of the P-3 Orion, the Lockheed aircraft, which was built in 1962 and is still in use. Let me show you guys why we are outside of the cockpit of this aircraft today. Yeah, if that horrendously loud noise isn't enough for you to understand why we're outside of the cockpit of this beautiful plane, then I'm not sure what is. Now what we're going to be doing today is obviously flying this plane around, you know, testing some things out like its landing performance, stopping performance, see how well it takes off, what its optimal takeoff speed is, and a few other things. But before we do that, let's go over the facts and let's find out why the hell it has this thing at the back of it. So in case you can already tell, this aircraft is clearly a 4-engine turboprop. It's an anti-submarine and maritime surveillance aircraft. So basically this means that it's more of a reconnaissance plane than a actual transportation plane. Believe it or not, this plane wasn't actually built to be used by the US Air Force. It was actually made for the US Navy for their reconnaissance missions. And at this current point in time, if I remember correctly, I believe there is about 757 of these have been built. Anyways, let's stop talking and work out why the hell this aircraft has this thing at the back of it. So what I've managed to find is this is actually called the tail stinger, or also known as the mad boom, or something like that. The mad boom, I think. So if we take a look at this picture of the P-3 Orion in real life, you can see that it's clearly got the tail stinger attached to it. Okay, so it says here that the stinger uses the fluctuation in the Earth's magnetic field to detect subs beneath the wave. So basically, from that little bit of information, you can tell that this plane obviously flew above oceans and seas and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's why it is actually equipped with this tail stinger. Right, so looking around from the first glance, you can already tell this is clearly a Boeing 747 cockpit. Okay, so there's not really anything interesting to see inside of this plane here apart from the fact that it's a 747 remake. So let's just get this plane off the ground and see how this goes. We're gonna go into an external view for this takeoff. Wow, just look at this plane. It looks so small. When you see the planes like the C-130 and stuff, they look quite alike in a way. They don't look alike if you're quite the aviation person, but to somebody that isn't really into aviation, you'd think those planes look quite similar. But it's just the size difference is phenomenal. So trying to take off, I can't actually do so with only flaps 1. Flaps 2 is what I need to be able to get off the ground apparently. Okay, so here we are flying above America in the beautiful Lockheed P-3 Orion. It's actually the P-3N Orion, to be specific. Now, you may be able to notice that there is actually 4 seats here. That is because this plane requires a minimum of 5 staff in order to actually successfully fly. It requires 3 pilots and 2 navigation. So usually you'd have the patrol plane commander, the second pilot, the third pilot, and then you also have 2 naval flight operators who obviously are focusing on navigating the aircraft. As you can see from over there, you'd be using that, and I think one of them would sit here and use this. That would probably be like the captain or something like this. There would be the first and the second pilots as well. But unfortunately, this very amazing aircraft might be coming to an end because the P-3 Orion is currently being replaced by the Boeing P-8A Poseidon. Obviously, it's another maritime patrol aircraft which is used for more reconnaissance missions where they search and don't really interact. It's more just search, find, locate, get out of there. As you can tell, these planes aren't really equipped with weapons. Now let's just get a few cinematic shots of this aircraft. So there you go guys, there are some cinematic shots. Anyways, let's get this plane back on the ground and hopefully we can safely land this aircraft after finding our beautiful airbase. As you can see by the positioning of the landing gear, this plane is very hard to flare with, so you'd obviously tail strike if you were to try. So you have to be very gentle when landing this plane. Now, this plane also can fly pretty slow without stalling up. I'm currently going at about 130 knots. With the typical Airbus, the Boeings, you would probably be stalling at this point. It obviously depends on what plane you're using though. Alright, we're not very well lined up with the center line, but I feel like all in all this could be a decent landing. Oh god, I didn't realize I was that close to the ground. Well, we'll take the landing and we'll go with it. Now let's just have a cheeky replay of that landing and see how that really went. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, that wasn't all that bad. that wasn't that bad, and it was pretty close to the center line. It was acceptable. I'm going to be ending this video here now, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications turned on to help me grow my aviation community. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace out.